Are you like me? Do you make broke bitch decisions? I've been reading this book by author Rachel Rogers, a multimillionaire, and the book is called We Should All Be Millionaires. But I was reading the book and it just happened to tie into what I wanted to talk about is for the longest time, and by long I mean several years, I have had this shopping list in my head. And on this list were, I'll talk about that later, 4 major purchases: a refrigerator, a furnace, a mattress, and a firearm. And no, this is not a list for people who are hiding out from the FBI or or who gonna be in some kind of gangster movie. No, this is the list of things I have had to buy, but for one reason or another, I have made an excuse for why I can just live with whatever it is I'm trying to replace. And those have been my broke bitch decisions that I've been making that have been keeping me from realizing my potential. And my potential is to be happy and to experience joy. I've got some explaining to do. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, welcome back for another episode of Ayana Explains It All, the podcast bridging the gap between current events and human behavior. I am your Black Muslim lady lawyer host, Ayana Fakir. Yes, that is my real name. My birth name is Ayana Rashida Fakir. Ayana spelled Ayana, that is one N. And Ayana Explains It All is the podcast, as I said, bridging the gap between current events and human behavior. And it is available on multiple streaming platforms, including Pandora, Amazon Music, Good Pods, Apple Podcasts, and the flagship Spotify, and a host of others. If you go to the show's website, www.ayana, Ayana, explainsitall.com, you will be able to find all things podcast, including transcripts, show notes, every episode of the show, all of the sources I use in the making of my episodes. You can find ways to support the podcast, to collaborate with me, invite me onto your program, come on to my program. I am the writer, producer, host, idea person. I am the key grip. I am craft services. This is all me. But I would love to have some people collaborate with me. I talk about everything here. That's why it's called Ayana Explains It All, because I talk about everything. I don't know everything, but I do talk about everything. I've sometimes called myself the explainer in chief. But I am here in Northeast Ohio. It's hot today. It's August 9th, 2026, and it's a hot day, and I love it. I love the summer. I love the heat. I love, heat. I love the brightness of nature, the green, the flowers, all of that. I have a big garden outside full of flowers, different types of plants, lots of plants inside. I talked about this on my Boring Plant Lady episode. I also love myself. I do. I promise you I do. So when I talk about this topic, please don't make a face that indicates you think I'm kind of a bird, because I'm not. I am a woman who has, for decades, lived with um, low self-esteem, undiagnosed ADHD, depression and anxiety. And so my sense of self was not fully developed until I came to understand myself and what I have and who I am and why I have always done the things that I've done until I grew up. Until I grew up, I was not fully a grown up. Even after I bought a house at 30, even after I had had 2 kids, I was still not fully a grown up. I was an adult legally, but I was not a grown up. Now I am at the ripe old age of 48, a grown up, self-realized, self-actualized human being. who has learned, well, not who has had to reroute her brain. I have had to reroute my brain from all of the things that I knew to the things that I know now. Everything that I knew, most of the things that I knew weren't always correct. And so I wasn't doing always correct things. But the more that I'm learning about life and happiness and joy and love and human beings and boundaries and all of these things and ADHD, the more that I'm learning, the better person I am becoming. But there was this thing, ladies and gentlemen, theys and thems. There was this thing that was holding me back. And I didn't know what it was called until I started reading that book, We Should All Be Millionaires. Now, I'm reading this book because I want to be a millionaire. Yes, I want to be a millionaire so that I can better care for my kids. Yes, they are young adults and they could eventually care for themselves, but I would love to give them a head start. But I also would love to be of benefit to my community. I want to give back to my community more. I could give a little bit. I want to be able to do more. I want to be able to do more. And if I can become a millionaire, well, then obviously it stands to reason. Inshallah. So I'm reading this book and she goes into a bunch of different things that a woman who makes broke decisions will live with the kitchen cabinet that doesn't close all the way when you close it, so that sometimes when you go to get something it falls out onto the floor and breaks. And a woman who makes millionaire decisions will obviously pay someone to fix that cabinet door so that things aren't falling out. And so that's one less thing on her plate that she has to worry about so that she can have that much more time in her day. And she said that, when you don't get the cabinet door fixed, she gives the example of the mug, the coffee mug. You go to reach for the coffee mug, you're in a hurry for a meeting, you're going to get some coffee, you go to reach for the coffee mug, it falls onto the floor because the cabinet isn't fixed, right? It falls out of the cabinet and onto the floor, and you have to spend time cleaning up the glass off of the floor. And so the momentum and the happy feeling you had going into your meeting is lost and time is lost. And now you feel like crap. And so you probably go into your meeting not able to fully participate because you haven't made the millionaire decision to just have somebody come and fix that thing, so you're not having to clean up spills, so you're not having to bump into it every time you go into the kitchen. She said that there are women who live with those inconveniences because number 1, they don't make the time to fix things. Number 2, they minimize their problems. Number 3, they don't understand that if they just took a few minutes to deal with something, that it could be over and they could move on to the next thing. And on and on. And I'm still reading it. So, but I'm probably doing a poor job of summarizing it. But when she said that, I was like, damn, that's me. That's me. And I've talked to my therapist about this before, and she's, really driven it home to me that you really need to do these things, Ayana. Just get them over with. I have needed to, but not anymore because I did eventually have to get it over with, purchase a new furnace. Number 1, huge purchase, by the way. Purchase a new refrigerator, another huge purchase. A new mattress for myself. Again, it could be a huge purchase or it could be a $200 purchase. And I've been shopping for a firearm. Why am I shopping for a firearm? Because so many people have told me that I need to get a firearm, that I need to learn how to use a firearm, that I need to have one when I go out. I'm not really sold on having it on me when I go out, but so many people have said, "Yes, you need to do this. Yes, you need to have it on you. You're a woman, you're this, you're that." In today's America, and I'm like, everybody, we're all out here walking around with guns, ready to use guns on each other. Like it's so sick to me. But I just never. I mean, I've gotten this far without needing one, but you just never know. I- you don't know. But this list of things has been going on in my head for several years. Like my refrigerator, my old refrigerator now, This will be the 3rd refrigerator that I've had since I've lived in my house, and I have lived here for 18 years. When you have kids, things don't last very long. If I lived alone, I probably could have gone on with that same refrigerator that I had originally when I came into this. But years of going in and out of the refrigerator. Now, so the refrigerator leaked water, and I couldn't be bothered to have somebody come in and look at it and fix it because in my mind, oh, that's going to cost a lot of money. And I just don't feel like figuring out where I'm going to get the money to fix this refrigerator. I've done it with other appliances, right? I've done it with the furnace, the old furnace now. That old furnace was like 36 years old. It came with the house. I've done it with the dishwasher. Dishwasher, absolutely. But for some reason, the refrigerator, I was just okay with just living with taking a towel every week or so, putting it under the refrigerator to soak up the water. It kept the food cold. It kept the food cold. And that's all that matters with the refrigerator, right? That it keeps the food cold, at least for me. I don't need a refrigerator with all the bells and whistles, the ice maker and the water dispenser. I don't need that. Plus, I'm living in an old house and the cubby space for the refrigerator only allows for a certain size refrigerator. So, keeping that in mind, trying to find a refrigerator that fits that kind of space takes a lot of time, you know. And when you're working in a budget, you can't just go into a store and point to the one you want and be like, bring that one to my house. You got to make sure it fits, make sure it'll fit through the door, your front door. I just couldn't be bothered. I couldn't be bothered, but it was bothering me. I couldn't be bothered to take care of it, but it was bothering me. I was making broke bitch decisions. Not that I'm broke, no. Alhamdulillah. I have a nice salary. I've been an attorney for how many years has it been? 23 years? I'm not a highfalutin attorney. I'm not making the 200s and the 300s, but I've been able to live in a house and take care of my kids. But money is very tight, as it is for a lot of middle class Americans. And I am a middle class American. Money is tight and it's gotten tighter since 2025. I'll leave you to guess why. Things have gotten more expensive. And so I'm not exactly jumping to spend money on a new appliance. I'm more keen to live with cleaning up the water off of the floor every week. Taking a towel and putting it on the floor to clean up the water. Broke bitch decisions. Not millionaires. I could just buy a new refrigerator, save the money to buy a new refrigerator, or put it on a credit card, pay for it over time, and not have to deal with this cleaning up the water because the cleaning up the water was an inconvenience, by the way. It was an inconvenience. And I had been doing this for a while. And cleaning up the water off the floor, dealing with that every winter for the last, I would say, 10 years. Got to get somebody out to the house to replace some part in the furnace that has gone out because the furnace was old. The furnace had been in this house since 1994, which is, ancient in furnace years. And I was okay with that. Whatever. And every time somebody would come out, they would say, "Lady, you got to do this. Lady, you're eventually just going to have to replace it. You're eventually just going to have to replace it." And me just thinking, I can't wrap my head around replacing a furnace, picking out a furnace. How do you do that? How do you buy a furnace and then you have to have somebody install it? And why can't I just do this? Because I was satisfied with just having somebody come out every once in a while, clean it out, replace the part, and go on with my life. I was content with I'll just spend a couple $100 every year to do this. And, because a new furnace can cost anywhere between from 7,000 to $10,000. And sis ain't have 7,000 to $10,000. Okay. In January, I was left with no choice. The furnace finally went out, as in would not work again. And I had to replace it. Why would I have someone keep coming out to my house every year, replacing this part, investing more money in this, investing more money in that, Just have somebody replace the furnace, which is what I did. I finally made a $1 million decision. Stop dealing with these inconveniences, move on, and have the comfort in your home, the comfort of consistent heat in your home, the comfort of consistent air blowing through your home, the comfort of knowing that when you turn on your thermostat, when you hit the on button on the thermostat, it's going to come on, and not have that pit, that anxiousness, that nervousness in your stomach, that it's not going to do anything when you turn it on. I used to live with that feeling every single year, that I'm going to, go look at the thermostat and it's going to show me that it's not operating, that it's not clicking on. You know how you hear that click when it comes on? And I don't hear that click, and I see that the temperature in the house is either hotter or colder than what I want it to be. I would live with that anxiety every single year. Lord have mercy. Instead of just being the millionaire woman I was destined to be, replace it, pay for it. I mean, this is the decision I made for myself, right? I made the $1 million decision to buy a house, to have this investment, not just for myself, but for my kids so they could go to a nice school system and have a house to grow up in with a yard, and they could have friends, and they've, alhamdulillah, had all of that. So this is one of the things that comes with having a house. You have appliances, you have a furnace, you have things that will break down because they get used so much and they are used over the years. Eventually, they're going to break down, or you're going to have to replace them altogether. And I was just so content with having a house. I never really thought about all of the other things. I never thought about all of that, replacing appliances, having plumbing work done. And I wasn't thinking 2 steps ahead when I bought the house. Alhamdulillah that I was able to buy the house, and I'm happy to have it. Now I think 2 steps ahead. But now I'm finding myself in the same uh, thinking mode again, because I've knocked 2 things off of my list. And now the mattress and the firearm. And you know what I feel like? I feel like that girl whose mother, that PBS little cartoon where the mother sent the girl to the store to get a stick of butter, eggs, milk, and bread. That's how I feel. I feel like her. But she wouldn't have a gun on her list, obviously. I don't know anything about guns. I don't know a crack-a-lackin' thing about guns. I know the names of some of the manufacturers because I grew up listening to rap music. You knew Smith& and Wesson. You knew, the Mossberg. I know, uh, Charles Bronson carried a revolver, and Dirty Harry carried a revolver, and I love that. I love those movies. But I don't want a revolver. That's an old-timey gun, right? What am I gonna do walking around with a freaking revolver? But so I don't know anything about it. And I've asked people, and I'm sure these same people are wondering why I haven't done this yet. But this is what Ayana does. This and not having a firearm is not an inconvenience to me now. It was probably on a specific occasion I could have used it, because this was in 2025, January 2025. Someone decided to accost me at a gas station pump because I pulled ahead in front of him. I didn't know that I was pulling ahead in front of him, obviously. Otherwise, I would have fallen back and been like, hey, you go ahead. I'm not the type of person who's going to jump ahead if it's not my turn. He was he was back away from the pump. And I just pulled into the gas station and pulled right up to the pump. I didn't see him. He was not even preparing to pull in, but he insisted that it was his pump. And so he wanted to go back and forth with me. He wanted to shoot me. He wanted to shoot me over a damn gas pump. Now, if I had had a gun, I mean, I would have been able to defend myself with a gun. I called the police instead. I called the police. But it was at that moment. A friend of mine and then my son, they were both like, you need to get a gun. Get a gun, get a gun, get a gun, get a gun. But you can't just get a gun. You have to know how to use it. You have to be trained in using a weapon. So that's another layer to this. I would have to go to, well, I'm in Ohio. So Ohio has open carry, concealed carry. You don't need a concealed carry license unless you're taking the firearm to another state that will allow you to conceal carry. Then you have to have a license. But in the state of Ohio now, the law has changed rapidly in the last few years. Now you can open carry, you can conceal carry, you can carry. So there are a lot of people around here who have firearms in their car, in their handbags, and their fanny packs, on their person in case something pop off. I don't know where people are going, where things are going to pop off, but you just never know in this place. You really never know. I mean, we've all seen the stories. Fast food joints, malls, department stores. You're at a picnic in a park. You're at the beach. You're at a movie theater. You're at school. You're at work. Da, 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 da. There are so many places where somebody just decides that they want to start something with you, or they want to be violent, or they want to end your life, they want to end their life. And in those cases, sometimes it has helped that someone else around has had a firearm, or that someone has been able to disarm the person. But a lot of people feel like they have to have a firearm. And most people feel like a woman should have a firearm and she should know how to use it. I didn't grow up with men who were teaching me how to use firearms. So it's something that I have to do myself. It's another thing that I have to do myself. All of these things that I'm talking about, all of these millionaire woman decisions that I'm having to make are all decisions I've had to make alone by myself. And that's perhaps the other scary part of this, is that these big girl millionaire woman decisions are things that I have to do alone. I don't have a husband to rely on. I don't have uncles. I don't have a grandfather. I don't have a father. I have a brother. I have my brother. He lives in another state. He's not here. I'm sure if I text him and I said, hey, what kind of gun should I buy? He would give me a list of guns and tell me the costs. But still, that's something I have to do myself. And then I have to do the training myself. And, when you're a woman who got a man in her life, your man helps you, right? He does, doesn't he? And I guess part of me just gets tired of doing all of this stuff by myself. But if I'm going to be a millionaire woman, I don't need a man. I mean, I would love to have one around. But these are the things that we have to do. And then, my therapist, when I was telling her the story about the refrigerator and having to clean up the water off of the floor from the refrigerator and not buying the refrigerator yet, and she looked at me and she said, just buy the damn refrigerator. And I had been talking to people. I've been talking to my best friends about this, about buying a refrigerator. And yeah, just buy the damn refrigerator. That's what I did. I have a refrigerator, new refrigerator that keeps the food cold, by the way. That was the whole point of having a refrigerator. I just needed to keep the food cold, and it absolutely does. And it makes, it freezes the water in the ice cubes within an hour. My old refrigerator, it would take about 12 hours. Why was I living with that? Why was I making these broke bitch decisions? Because I didn't believe in my potential, in my ability, I didn't have the want, the desire to do this thing for myself. I was just kind of going through the motions of life every single day. The wake up, pray, go to work, pray, work, pray, eat, take care of kids, pray, work, eat, take care of kids, take care of house, take care of plants. That's my life. That's been my life. I don't prioritize fun. I used to. I used to. I used to prioritize fun. And then I got away from it because the demands of life have become heavier and the need for me to work more has become pressing, so I could buy a new refrigerator. And so I work a lot. And when I'm not working, I'm tired and I just want to just chill out. I was also doing my politics things. I was doing the TikTok live town halls. That has now slowed down, and I was doing a bunch of just, just chilling. Um, I kinda got away from going out and doing things and living life and being happy. You have to prioritize happiness. Yes, you do. You don't always have to be happy. Oh, you can be sad. You could be sad. Yes. Don't be angry because you're sad. Just understand sometimes you can be sad. Sometimes you have to be quiet. Sometimes you have to be slow. You have to slow down. I was listening to this lecture from this Islamic, I guess you can call him a scholar. He's knowledgeable. He's a scholar. Um and he's talking about market correction. And he's talking about how if you have some highs and some lows and some highs and some lows, the market is correcting itself. And it's okay to have some lows. It is absolutely okay. It's okay when things are going your way or the way you want them to go. Even when things are going the way you want them to, you feel good. But when things are not going the way you want them to, understand that that's still going your way because maybe there's something that's being delayed. Maybe there's something that's you're needing to prepare yourself better for. Maybe God doesn't think you're ready to receive it. Maybe it's not the right time. Maybe the parts are still being assembled and put into place. And we want to experience highs all the time. We want everything to go our way all the time. We want every opportunity that we seek to be ours every time. We want every job that we go for, every promotion that we go for. We want every piece of money that we chase to be ours. We want, when we order some food, we want it to be exactly how we want it. When we buy a dress, we want it to fit exactly correctly. We want everything to go our way. We can't have even a little bit of off. That little bit of off throws us off course and we feel sad. And then it's like, oh my gosh. Then or we're upset. And this is another reason why I have had a hard time making these decisions about these big purchases, about making these millionaire woman decisions, because sometimes I think, well, if I choose this thing, what if it's the wrong thing? What if I buy the wrong size refrigerator? And I cannot tell you guys how many times I measured the space that the refrigerator would go in. I have the exact measurements in my phone. I took a picture of the measurements from the old refrigerator because it was inside the freezer door. And I had that and I would plug these numbers into like Home Depot or Lowe's and pick out the refrigerator and put it in the cart and then just not click buy. No, just find something else to do, something else to be distracted by because I couldn't just pull the trigger, so to speak. Now I'm listening to this book, We Should All Be Millionaires, and I'm like, yes, I'm going to start making millionaire woman decisions. I'm not going to be making broke bitch decisions anymore. I'm not going to be living anymore with these inconveniences just because I'm scared. I'm scared of what could be or what could happen or of things not working out. If they don't work out, they don't work out. We pivot, we move on, we do something else. Or we just, we're just kind of quiet for a little bit. It's okay. Sometimes I get angry with myself for being sad or for being anxious because I feel like I shouldn't feel that way, right? Everything is going great. You still have a roof over your head. Why are you mad? And that's not the right way to think either. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to have a down day. It's okay that not every opportunity you seek becomes yours. It's okay that not every job you go for is yours. It's okay that you don't get every promotion that you apply for. It's okay that when you buy a dress, it doesn't fit exactly right. It's okay when you buy a shade of lipstick and it doesn't look exactly perfect on you. Yes, this is for the men too. I kid. But it's okay if things are a little off. It's okay if things are a little off. It's okay if you have an off day or a downtime, and believe me, I have had many, many downtimes. I've lost jobs, been fired from jobs where if I still had that job, I'd probably be making over $300,000 a year. I have applied for many promotions and been denied them. I have, gone for this opportunity and not gotten it. I have gone for other opportunities and gotten them. I have been given opportunities I didn't even ask for. Alhamdulillah. Things come and sometimes they don't. Sometimes things come, sometimes they don't. And you don't always know the reason why, but there is a reason why. There are no coincidences in life. There aren't. So you may never know the reason why these opportunities are withheld or why God delays things or why I'm 48 and I'm not a millionaire yet. Maybe now is my time. Now is my time. I have more opportunities to learn things. I want to learn, about the stock markets and trading and I just want to dedicate more time to this. I want to be able to make more money. I'm going to make more money, inshallah. But there's a time for everything. And some of us we want that time to be right now when we ask for it. Because we feel ready. We think we're ready. We feel ready, but God always knows more than what we know, even about ourselves. And that's the that on that. So, getting the refrigerator, alhamdulillah, it was the right time. Whatever I delayed is because I didn't have the courage or the guts to just finally do it because I had been comfortable just doing the broke bitch thing. And for the furnace, the same thing. And why? Because I had never had anybody talk to me in a way that was, well, girl, just do this. Go ahead and just do this. You could do this. I had never had anybody talk to me like that, in that you can just do this. It has often been the case in my entire life that when I tell my ideas to people, they go, why do you want to do this? Why? Why would you do that? Not saying you can do it, but why would you do it? Is it the right time? We never know why. We never know why. And if you're surrounding yourself with people who are not encouraging you in your ideas, who are not building you up when you have an idea, then maybe you want to kind of not spend so much time with those people. You ain't got to cut them off, but you don't have to spend all of your time with people who are not going to be encouraging of you and your ideas. I want to make millionaire decisions. I want to make millionaire decisions. I'm making millionaire decisions. From now on, I'm not doing broke bitch decisions anymore. I'm not having broke bitch boundaries with people, and I'm not making broke bitch decisions any longer. The next thing on my list is this mattress. I have needed a new mattress for a minute. My mattress is 15 years old. And I mean, some people have mattresses for 20 years, but this mattress probably should have been replaced after 10 years. I have L5S1 degenerative disc disease from carrying large babies. Had two large babies, two very big headed babies. I love my babies. Uh, with my first pregnancy, I had a hard labor Had a lot of back pain, a lot of leg pain. Turns out it was sciatica. And even after I was delivered of child, I continued to have the same pain, the same discomfort, and I did not always have the best mattress. I didn't have a new mattress after my son was born. I did not get a new mattress until he was 7 years old. So I had been sleeping on old mattresses that were aggravating this pain, that were making the pain worse. I was living with daily, awful, terrible pain that would radiate from my lower back into my legs. Working out helped a lot. It helped a lot. And I was an avid walker. I was an avid runner. Then I started lifting weights, and that helped. Losing weight and becoming stronger absolutely helped. But it doesn't always work. You gotta have the right shoes. You gotta have and somewhere along the way, I developed plantar fasciitis. You gotta have the right everything. You gotta have the right seat when you're working. You gotta have the right kinda couch and the pillows to prop up your back so that you don't aggravate these things. And I have been noticing over the last year or so, I don't have the right chair to sit in when I'm working, in my office. I definitely do not have the right kind of pillows. I don't have the right kind of mattress. Now, I could have just dropped everything and bought myself a mattress, but my kids needed new mattresses too. My kids needed new beds. And here I am. I'm going to put my kids first. I do. That's what I do. That's what I do. I'm not going to buy myself a mattress first and then my kids are sleeping on the floor. Not going to do it. But I certainly put more energy into getting them the things that they need than getting me the thing that I need. Should have prioritized myself as well as I prioritized their needs. I should have done that. I did not do that. So here I am living with a mattress that it doesn't support anything, really. As soon as you lay down on it, even sitting on it, you immediately sink. And I need support because of my lower back. It came to a head the other day when I know if I slept wrong or something. All it takes is for me to sleep wrong even slightly, and there it is. I hadn't had back pain in a while, but I slept wrong for some reason, and when I woke up, I could not bend over. Couldn't bend down. I had to pray seated in a chair because I couldn't get down on the floor. And I was rubbing, the Voltaren cream on my back, and I was taking Advil, and after a few days, it was gone. But I'm like, "No, my next purchase, new mattress, period. I'm not even gonna wait. I'm gonna pick one out, and I'm gonna buy it, and I'm gonna be done with it." Because I am not dealing with back pain from the mattress that I sleep on any longer. I'm not going to go into another year dealing with this. I'm not, and I shouldn't have to. Why am I dealing with something that's causing me pain potentially when I could just buy another one, be done, and not have the pain? Period. Why am I making broke bitch decisions? Because I'm content with allowing others to have comfort and joy and happiness while I just, deal with have the not the minimum because I'm still comfortable. I still have a bed, I still have a couch, still have a house. But I'm not enjoying the same level of comfort that I would provide to other people. I'm not enjoying the same level of pain-free living that I work so that other people can have. I pour into people more than I pour into myself. And that is something that I'm having to reroute my brain from doing because I have been doing that my entire life. It's not that I'm going to neglect the people around me in favor of myself is that if I don't have it to give, I'm not going to give it. I'm not going to find it and I'm not going to give it. I'm going to give it to myself first so that if somebody comes to me and they need it and I have it, I'm going to give it to them. But I'm not going to live with the back pain from the mattress anymore. I'm not going to live with the anxiety of the furnace not working anymore. I'm not going to live with the inconvenience of having to clean up water from the floor from the leaking refrigerator anymore. And I'm no longer going to feel unsafe going to a gas station. My goodness. I'm going to make millionaire decisions. And sure, I didn't think they were called millionaire decisions when I made this conclusion, but that's what they're called. Rachel Rogers helped me verbalize it. We should all be millionaires. We should. We should all be millionaires. But especially women like me. Women like me who have been single parents for a long time, who have worked 40 to 60 hours plus per week to make sure our families are taken care of, to make sure the lights are on, the gas is on, to make sure that the car turns on, to make sure the kids get to all of their activities, to make sure they have clothes and shoes and food. Women like me should be doing much better than how we are doing. Women like me should be doing much better. We should be. But it starts with us. It starts with us. For me, it starts with me. It starts with me making better choices for myself, better decisions. Whether you call them broke bitch decisions or millionaire decisions or sensible decisions or whatever you want to call them, they are proactive decisions that see you getting to rest and joy and happiness quicker than if you had just continued to live with the inconveniences and the broke down mattresses of life. You don't have to live that way. You don't have to. Sure, these things take money. They absolutely do. If you have the money or you can find the resources to pay for this, do it. If there is something that you have needed to do, that would make your life even slightly better, do it. Don't wait. Put thought into it, absolutely, but don't take years of thought. It shouldn't take years of thought. Like, why did I take years of thinking to do this? Do it. Don't be afraid to do it. Don't be scared. Don't belittle yourself. Don't think of yourself as making poor decisions. I can't do this because I don't know what I'm doing. Talk to people if you need to. Find somebody who's an expert who you can talk to about it. Like I've talked to people who own guns and they've given me advice on what to get and how to train and places I need to go. Now all I need to do is do it. That's it. We're on our way. And this has been Ayana Explains It All, brought to you by Facts, Figures, and Enlightenment. Take care.